Good morning, happy Friday. Today you are going to start on your Africa continent. So how we're going to do that today, so you've done already the map and you should be reading the physical geography of Africa. Okay, we are going to do human geography in just a little bit, but before we start that, I want you guys to just look at what kind of news and what kind of stories are coming out from the continent of Africa. And the reason being is that there's a kind of an overwhelming, let's say, I don't know, big story that comes out of Africa is that it is the poor continent, that nobody really, like everybody is starving there, that it's, there's not successful people from there. Basically, this kind of negative stories, negative information that comes out of Africa. And there's a lot of good stuff that comes out too, but really it's what kind of news do we see about the African continent in in our social media, on the news, in articles, in different places. And this is not just with Africa. However, I think that it's important to stop and notice. So when I say news and stories, I mean things that, like, if you were to Google Africa and click on the news section, like what possible stories are going to be able, is it going to be something positive or something negative? Okay, and we could do that with any kind of country or any kind of information, but the goal here is to notice how are people reporting this, like how are news based? Are they negative more when they say things from the countries, or is it more positive, right? Because for the most part, and maybe you guys don't read the news or watch the news, and that's fine, but for the most part, this is how we get to know about different places on Earth, is people hearing it on the news, how the media reports it. And so our goal here is to kind of have a test and see what kind of news are coming out of Africa. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you're going to look at that, you're going to find it, and how we're going to collaborate together to create kind of a website using something called Padlet.com. I'm going to show you in just a minute. Okay, so you're going to get a link in your assignment leading you to a website that looks like this. It is called Padlet.com. It has my username and then just the link. And it's going to say Maralit, and it's going to say Africa-stories, and we're going to collect them together. So how to do and how to use this site. First of all, once you click here, I want you guys to go to Padlet.com, which I'm going to give you a link as well, and you are going to sign up. Okay, so you're going to log in or sign up. Now mine, I already created an account, so you're going to create your own account. Okay, you can log in with Google, you can log in with whatever you have. And this way, if it's an iPad, like it'd make it easier, or you can use an email and a password. Okay, so this is mine because I'm already logged in. You're going to click sign up because you do not have a Padlet account. So click sign up. Okay, I've already signed up, so I'm just going to log in with what I signed up with. Okay, and that way I already have an account and I can just post. For you, once you sign up, your dashboard, this is called dashboard, it's going to look like this. Now, you can either create a Padlet, you can join one, you can go to gallery, which is like where you look at all the other Padlets made that are public. Now, these are mine, okay? These are mine for different classes. This one's yours. You are going to join a Padlet because we're going to collaborate together on this one. So you're going to join one. By joining, when you click join, you're going to paste the URL or the URL that I'm going to give you in here, like this, and you're going to click submit, and it's going to take you to the Africa stories. Okay, simple as that. Once you're here, you're going to click this little plus sign. It's hard to see. I'm going to move this. Here we go. Click on here, and this is where you're going to post. Okay, so your username is going to appear at the top, just like mine, and you're going to use and post something on here. After you post, it's going to look something like this. I'm going to give you an example from 8th grade class. Okay, so this is a story that we read, and people posted their quotes. And then we're creating sort of a wall. Another example is from a Chinese history that for 8th graders that we're doing. And they're posting links and pictures, similar idea, so that when you scroll through, you can see everybody's work in one page. Okay, so I'm going to click this off, so you don't really need those. You are going to do similar with Africa stories. So what essentially are you doing? You're going to research some news, some kind of story, not like a fictional story, but what I mean by story is what is going on in Africa right now. Remember, African continent. So if I type in Africa news, okay, so I hear something about the coronavirus, some sort of army. Notice that if you just scroll down right away, you could see there's BBC News, there's CNN News, there's African News, The Guardian. So remember, if you, we talked a lot about news and credible and trusted sources. These 4 at the top right here are pretty good for that. You can keep looking. You could look at videos. Al Jazeera is a good one. There's Africa. There's different kind of news because you've typed in news. The other way to do this is to click the tab on the news. That way you're going to get basically a lot of links. Now notice, this is not news. This is links to news, okay? So you guys can just click on a certain link to find out what you need. I suggest just going all and typing African news like this, because this way it leads you to a news source from where you can look at more stories rather than Google already giving you stories, okay? So you find something like this, agree and close, okay? And then basically kind of look through and what's going on. There's some stuff about Ebola, there's stuff about coronavirus, there's politics, lots of presidential stuff going on. So just peruse and look through and look at other news sources as well. African News 24, BBC News, just what's happening, okay? Again, coronavirus, something about living slums, something about Egyptian pyramids opening up. Lots of stuff going on, okay? So click on and look through and find one that you kind of find interesting. After you do that, so let's say we're gonna do this one. South Africa leader warns of coronavirus. Okay, let's say this is the news source that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read this through, okay? Maybe translate some because I don't understand some words. Do that. I'm gonna get the gist or kind of the summary of this content. I'm gonna click and copy this link, okay? I'm gonna go to my Africa stories and I already clicked to start a new one. I'm going to click the link and I'm going to paste this here, click save, and it's going to populate the link into my post, okay? In this title, I might say, I'll go back to my thing, South Africa, whoops. I'm gonna say South Africa coronavirus. And then in here, I'm going to write a summary of 3 to 5 sentences about what I just read. Okay? So it's going to be a summary of 3 to 5 sentences. And after you finish this, you just leave it here. And so what you'll see is people posting more and more. And then you can get, after you're done with this, it just kind of sits there. You can like other people's and you can comment on your own. You can comment on other people's. And we'll get to the commenting in a little bit later. Okay, so this should be Padlet and what we're making. Our goal is to have this board, have this website full of different stories with your name, a title of the news, quick summary, 3 to 5 sentences of what you just read, okay? And just put it on there. One story, okay? So we'll have 14 different stories on here and then we'll look at the wall and kind of talk about them, okay? That should be it for now. And then we are going to, we don't need this. So once I click on the link, you guys can just open that. Okay.